What's up, guys? My name is Chaotic, back at you guys with a lit one today. I'm coming at you guys with another substance review, and I'm gonna be reviewing 3-HO-PCP. Alright, so this isn't like regular PCP. This is more of like a downer. It's definitely dissociative. It's a dissociative downer. So let me get into the effects. So this drug is really interesting because it has more opioid effects than any other dissociative, and so that being true, it actually feels more of like a downer. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get into the effects, and let me know down in the comments if you guys have ever tried this substance. All right, so 3-HO-PCP, man, is some crazy shit. This drug makes you dissociated like no tomorrow. I remember the first time I tried this substance, I was so dissociated, like I just had to lay down because I was like, oh shit, man. It almost felt like I was overdosing on that shit. But I know I really couldn't be, because if I was, it'd be a lot worse than that. So nah, I wasn't really doing that, but I took a little more, I guess, than I should have my first time, because it's so crazy potent. You only need like a little tiny little bit of this stuff to feel it. And man, dude, did I feel this shit. So yeah, it lasts around 4 to 6 hours, man. 4 to 6 hours. And dude, this shit is just wild dissociative high. Man, it will make you feel like you can definitely hold on to substance. Let me tell you that. It's a lot easier to hold on to substance than ketamine, DCK. And yeah, man, this is my third dissociative substance that I've tried, I think, so far, but I have way more substances, like way more dissociative. No, but this is like the third one I'm talking about in this series of the dissociative substances. I love dissociatives. So I guess it feels similar to DXM because it feels like a downer, because DXM is actually, it's related to an opioid too. So it's like it's kind of real interesting how, it makes sense how they can synthesize something that could probably have opioid effects but be a dissociative, because they're actually, both of those things are similar. And DXM is part of, I think, it's like some different isomer of morphine or something. I think that's where it comes from that. So yeah, it's really interesting how all this works. So basically the effects are, it's like analgesic effects. They have euphoric effects. 3-HO-PCP gives you. The analgesic effects are really high. I noticed with the substance a lot more taxing on your body. Like it leaves you with pains. It's not so, I guess, good for your body. The toxicity is a lot more high because of the potency. So keep that in mind with this substance. Now, I've never done PCP, so I can't say if it's similar to PCP. But I've done 3-MeO-PCP, which I'll talk about next. And I've heard 3-MeO-PCP is real similar to PCP normally. So definitely a lot different. 3-MeO-PCP had me more manic. Like, it had me actually really energetic. 3-HO-PCP, no. It definitely doesn't make you have any energy. It slows down your thinking. It acts way more like a downer than you would ever think. And it acts more like ketamine. So basically, it will tranquilize you in a normal dose. If you take a little more than that, it'll definitely tranquilize your ass. So it's more of a tranquilizer. It's more of a downer. It's way better with the effects, man. In that regard, it's way more visually like trippy than ketamine. Like in my opinion, because like I remember when I would take it, everything just turned dark. Everything was just really dark, and I was like, whoa. I don't know, it just felt like my vision was like closing in on itself a little bit. And I was like, man, this is weird. And like everything, it gave like a weird trip effect where things felt like they were like drooping down, kind of like melting. So and that's what dissociatives do. Because I've experienced that same effect on DXM, where I look at the walls and the walls look like they're melting. Anyway, so yeah, it was just make everything look really wobbly. And just my vision was not clear. I was like, whoa, this is fucking weird. And it makes you feel kind of weird. You can feel just real funny on this stuff. And it's real entertaining. Let me tell you that. Now, comparing it to nitrous, let me compare it to nitrous. So, it kind of feels like that one nitrous you hit, like, you know, when you hit a nitrous in the beginning, when you have absolutely no tolerance to it. It kind of feels like that, but for like 4 hours, but except a lot more less stimulating. It's definitely less. It's almost not stimulating at all. You'll be getting tired on this stuff. Like, you could even fall asleep on this stuff. So, yeah, definitely not stimulating at all. Ketamine is way more stimulating than this. And this is just, it acts more like, it feels really similar to like morphine. It feels real similar to like an opioid. And the fact that it has opioid and dissociative effects really is like a real plus for me, because it can actually help you kick an opioid habit, I believe, because this stuff feels almost exactly like one. And it almost feels better than an opioid because it actually has more psychedelic and dissociative effects. It has more effects than an opioid, but you don't have to take as much of it. But anyways, like, it's not really so good to take all the time. I feel like it does drain your brain, so keep that in mind. And you know, the toxicity is up there too. So it does leave your body achy. I remember, like, you know, every time I took it, I did feel kind of weird on it. But I think that's the only side effect. So it must not be the best toxic. I mean, it must not be the best for you because the higher potency, because the more toxicity that brings. So you just keep that in mind, man. But anyway, so 3-HO-PCP is, it's actually really fun in my heart. I really enjoy this chemical. I really enjoyed it when I had it. Got it a few times again. Right now, don't have it. Like, I think I only have like tiny bit, and I'm not trying to do it right now. I'm trying to save it. So, yeah, this stuff is real similar. I would say compared to 3-CL-PCP, because I've done 3-FL-PCP, 3-MEO-PCP. Yeah, I've done a lot, bro. So, okay, it is most similar to 3-FL-PCP. 3-FL-PCP, it's a lot more downing feeling. 3-CL-PCP is more stimulating. 3-MEO-PCP is the most stimulating. So, ranked, yeah, it's most similar to, I guess, ketamine and 3-FL-PCP if you've ever done that. So, yeah. Other than that, it feels completely different than all of the other dissociatives. It actually has enough of a different effect, like, profile, that you'll be like, you'll feel like you got high on something different. It won't feel like all these other, like, it won't even feel like most of these other dissociatives, man. It's really crazy. It feels way more like an opioid than another dissociatives. So, yeah, it's kind of fun in that regard. Anyways, yeah, this could be a party drug. I've actually took this with MDMA before, and it definitely enhances the effects. But I wouldn't advise that because, one, you're combining drug. Two, the serotonin, it does affect your serotonin, so it could lead to serotonin syndrome. So don't be like, it definitely ups your body temperature. Okay, so it ups your body temperature regardless. So if you take with MDMA, it will just up it more. So yeah, keep that in mind. Take at least, I would say, put only 1 milligram. 1 milligram. Yes, I said 1 milligram with MDMA. No more than that. If you're ever gonna, you know, and that's with any dissociative. You don't want to take a lot, you know, because the PCP analogs, they will actually not. They won't synergize well with MDMA. They'll act like a DXM with MDMA. Like, they can cause serotonin syndrome. They can potentially kill you. So it's kind of dangerous. Don't be taking PCP analogs with MDMA. The only thing you can really combine with MDMA is ketamine, because it doesn't affect your serotonin. It's just tranquilizer. So keep that in mind. Yeah, DCK, ketamine, anything that's a ketamine analog. But they're all PCP. I mean, but anything that has PCP in its name, I would advise not to take with MDMA. Or really any other serotonin, like LSD. Well, that could potentially actually be, well, it could be a good thing. It could make the trip better, but it will make the trip harder. So if you do combine it with a psychedelic, keep that in mind. And it's fun, because I think I've done that before. 3-HO-PCP with acid. It does enhance it. It feels like you're on a downer. Like, it calms the acid down. Like, you won't be having a bad trip. So it actually helps a little bit, but keep in mind that it does enhance the trip. So, 3-HO-PCP, man. I'd give this shit a 10 out of 10, man. This shit is great. It's awesome. It's fun. And it's probably my most favorite PCP analog out of all of them, because it feels like an opioid. Feels like a downer. It doesn't leave you manic, and most of all, it leaves you euphoric, man. And it feels lit. And honestly, it feels a lot similar to MDMA. It feels kind of similar to that. Like, it enhances music in a way. It enhances music almost similar to it. And yeah, man, it's fun. So yeah, man, 300 PCP is a-okay, man. Honestly, it's safe enough, but keep in mind there's a toxic profile with it as well. And don't be doing it too often. Keep in mind, keep the same harm reduction with every substance, man. And yeah, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about the substance review of 3-HO PCP. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.